Have you ever wondered why some people seem unshakable no matter what life throws at them, while others crumble at the first sign of trouble? What if I told you that a former slave from ancient Rome discovered the secret to mental freedom that could transform your life today? Welcome back to Limitless Mindset, where we unlock the power of unstoppable thinking. Today, we're diving deep into the revolutionary philosophy of Epictetus, the Stoic master who turned personal adversity into universal wisdom that still changes lives 2,000 years later. Epictetus wasn't born into privilege or handed ancient wisdom on a silver platter. He was born a slave in ancient Rome around 55 AD, experiencing firsthand what it meant to have zero control over external circumstances. Yet this man who had no freedom in the traditional sense became one of history's greatest teachers of mental liberation. His story proves that your current situation doesn't determine your potential for developing an limitless mindset and achieving personal transformation. The core of Epictetus' philosophy centers on one fundamental principle that will revolutionize how you approach every challenge in your life. He taught that we must distinguish between what is within our control and what lies beyond it. This isn't just ancient philosophy speak, this is practical psychology that modern cognitive behavioral therapy is built upon. Epictetus divided all of human experience into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot control. What can you actually control? Your thoughts, your responses, your judgments, your values, and your actions. That's it. Everything else, from other people's opinions to natural disasters, from your past mistakes to future uncertainties, falls into the category of things beyond your control. This realization isn't meant to discourage you, it's meant to liberate you completely. Think about how much mental energy you waste worrying about things you cannot influence. Your coworker's attitude toward you, whether it rains on your wedding day, what happened 5 years ago, or what might happen 5 years from now. Epictetus taught that suffering comes not from external events themselves, but from our judgments about those events. This is the foundation of developing resilience and maintaining positive thinking regardless of circumstances. Let me share a powerful example from his teachings. Imagine someone insults you publicly. The natural response might be anger, embarrassment, or the desire for revenge. But Epictetus would ask, what actually happened? Someone made sounds with their mouth or marks on paper. The insult itself has no power until you give it meaning through your judgment. You can choose to see it as devastating or irrelevant. You can choose to let it define your day or dismiss it entirely. This doesn't mean becoming emotionally numb or accepting abuse. It means recognizing where your real power lies. Instead of trying to control the uncontrollable, which leads to frustration and anxiety, you focus entirely on what you can actually influence. This shift in focus is the beginning of true personal development and the pathway to an unshakable mindset. Epictetus wrote extensively about this philosophy in two major works that survived to influence millions. The Discourses, which were lecture notes recorded by his student Arian, contain his longer teachings on Stoic philosophy and practical wisdom. The Enchiridion, meaning handbook, is a shorter collection of his most essential principles designed for daily practice and self-improvement. The beauty of Epictetus's teachings lies in their practical application. He didn't create abstract theories for intellectual discussion. Every principle he taught was designed to be used immediately in real-life situations. His philosophy is essentially ancient life coaching that focuses on mental toughness and emotional intelligence. One of his most powerful concepts involves the discipline of desire. Most people spend their lives wanting things they cannot guarantee they'll get, leading to constant disappointment and frustration. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from wanting what actually happens rather than demanding that reality conform to your preferences. This isn't passive acceptance, it's strategic wisdom. When you stop fighting reality and start working with it, you discover opportunities that were invisible before. Instead of wasting energy on resentment about what is, you can channel that energy into positive action toward what could be. This mindset shift transforms obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into comebacks. Consider how this applies to career challenges. You cannot control whether you get promoted, but you can control the quality of your work, your attitude, your skill development, and your professional relationships. You cannot control market crashes, but you can control your financial education, your spending habits, your investment strategy, and your adaptability. You cannot control aging, but you can control your health habits, your learning mindset, and how you treat your body. Epictetus also taught about the discipline of action, which focuses on how we interact with the world while maintaining inner peace. He emphasized that our duty is to play our roles in life excellently, whether as parent, employee, citizen, or friend, without attachment to specific outcomes. This creates what modern psychology calls intrinsic motivation, where satisfaction comes from the process rather than external validation. This approach eliminates the anxiety that comes from needing specific results to feel worthy or successful. When your sense of accomplishment comes from giving your best effort rather than achieving particular outcomes, you become unstoppable, because your motivation no longer depends on external factors beyond your control. The third discipline Epictetus taught was the discipline of assent, which involves carefully examining our thoughts and beliefs before accepting them as true. Most people automatically believe every thought that enters their mind, but Epictetus taught that we have the power to question, evaluate, and reject thoughts that don't serve us. This is the foundation of cognitive restructuring and positive psychology.
When a thought like, "I'm not good enough," or "this will never work," appears in your mind, you don't have to accept it as truth. You can examine it objectively, consider whether it's helpful or harmful, and choose to embrace or dismiss it. This creates mental discipline that builds confidence and resilience over time. The practical applications of these principles extend to every area of modern life. In relationships, instead of trying to control your partner's behavior, you focus on being the best partner you can be. In business, instead of worrying about competition, you concentrate on delivering exceptional value. In health, instead of obsessing over genetics or aging, you optimize the lifestyle factors within your influence. Epictetus taught that we become what we repeatedly practice. If you practice worry, you become anxious. If you practice gratitude, you become grateful. If you practice focusing on what you control, you develop an unshakable sense of personal power. This isn't wishful thinking. This is deliberate mental training that rewires your brain for success and happiness. One of the most transformative aspects of his philosophy involves reframing adversity. Instead of seeing challenges as punishment or bad luck, Epictetus taught that difficulties are training exercises designed to strengthen your character and wisdom. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to practice virtue, develop resilience, and prove your mental toughness. This perspective shift changes everything. Job loss becomes an opportunity to discover better career paths. Relationship problems become chances to develop communication skills and emotional maturity. Health challenges become motivations to prioritize wellness and appreciate what you have. Financial difficulties become lessons in resourcefulness and priority setting.
The key to implementing Epictetus's philosophy in daily life starts with morning reflection. Each day, remind yourself of what you can and cannot control. Set intentions based on your values rather than desired outcomes. Practice viewing challenges as training rather than punishment. And each day by reviewing what went well and what you can improve tomorrow. This isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming stoically indifferent. Epictetus encouraged feeling deeply while thinking clearly. You can be disappointed by setbacks while maintaining perspective. You can grieve losses while finding meaning in them. You can feel angry about injustice while choosing constructive responses. The ultimate goal of Epictetus's philosophy is what the Stoics called ataraxia, a state of unshakable tranquility that comes from aligning your actions with your values regardless of external circumstances. This isn't emotional numbness, it's emotional stability. It's the difference between being a leaf blown by every wind and being a tree that bends without breaking. Modern neuroscience confirms what Epictetus taught 2 millennia ago. When you consistently practice focusing on what you control, your brain literally rewires itself to default to that perspective. Neural pathways strengthen with repetition, making calm confidence your natural state rather than something you have to force. The transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it begins immediately. Every time you catch yourself worrying about uncontrollables and redirect your attention to what you can influence, you're building mental muscle. Every time you choose response over reaction, you're developing emotional intelligence. Every time you find opportunity in adversity, you're training resilience.
Epictetus's journey from slavery to philosophical freedom proves that external circumstances need never define your internal experience. His teachings offer a roadmap to mental liberation that remains as relevant today as it was in ancient Rome. The principles are simple, but not easy, requiring consistent practice and commitment to personal growth. The question isn't whether his philosophy works. Countless individuals throughout history have proven its effectiveness. The question is whether you're ready to take responsibility for your mental freedom and commit to the daily practice required to achieve it. Your circumstances may be challenging, but your response to those circumstances remains entirely within your control. Remember that developing a Stoic mindset isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every small step toward focusing on what you control builds momentum toward the limitless mindset that transforms both your inner experience and outer results. Start today by identifying one area where you've been trying to control the uncontrollable. Then redirect that energy toward what you actually can influence. If this exploration of Epictetus' timeless wisdom resonated with you, subscribe for more content on developing mental toughness and achieving personal transformation. Share this video with someone who could benefit from these powerful principles. What's one area of your life where you're ready to apply Stoic philosophy? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, your mindset determines your reality, so choose thoughts that serve your highest potential.